I pick my corn when I know it's ready. I don't know if you can follow me in the cornfield here. Okay, right here. See how the tassels? They've turned brown. Okay, and they're plump. Mostly down here is where I feel where they're nice and plump. Because sometimes they don't develop all the way up to the top. And that's how I tell when my corn is done. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to pick all the corn because it's ready. And we'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm going to show you a way to pick your corn. You take the corn, you snap it down, and pull up. Real easy. Okay, let's try another one here. Here's one. Take it, you snap it down, pull up. Okay. Here's a good one. I'm stepping on my sweet potatoes. Okay, can you get this up real close up here?
I got zoomed in.
You got it? Okay. Snap it down, pull it up, straight up. That way your stalks stay standing up and you don't tear them down. All right, I'll see you in the kitchen then. Okay, we're done picking corn. Hey, can you take the wheelbarrow and bring it on the outside of the corn? Where'd you go? What are you doing coming through the corn? You can't take the barrel through the corn.
It fits.
It fits?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. These hubbies, they just don't listen. But you know what? Look what he picked. So we'll have a pretty good harvest. All right, now, before you start, make sure you have a good sharp knife. You can use bigger knives than this. Use whatever's comfortable for you. And just make sure the knife is good and, really good and sharp. All right, let's get started. I said there's other techniques to do this, other ways that people do it. Just cut it straight off. You don't want to cut into the cob. It just takes a little practice. Now I know there's special things you can use to get this off, but again, I've been doing this for 40 years. I can't change my old ways. Now this is hard for me to do because I had carpal tunnel and I had surgery, and so my wrist is weak. So because my husband, who has a tendency to appear secretly in my videos, this is a job for hubby. All right, we'll be back. Bye. Oh man, is that all the farther you got, hubby? Come on, get with the program. Okay, hubby is already done. Look guys, he did a fantastic job. Great job. What are you doing? No! No! Now that we're all done, I'm canning tomatoes right now. So take a damp dish towel, put it over top of it until, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and for, a couple hours, because right now I'm canning tomatoes. But make sure it is a damp towel and not a dry towel, because you don't want to draw out the corn cream, And trust me, if you lift your towel up and it's dry, you're going to have corn all over the place. All right, we'll see you when it's time to go canning this. In today's video, I will be canning corn in two different ways. One will be just canning corn in the jars, and the other will be cutting the corn into pieces for meals in a quart jar.
There's got to be a better way to do this. There we go. Nice and easy. Just don't tell my wife I'm doing this. Once they cut the corn, it's getting cut.
Now we got to put the corn in the jars. I have my sterile water over here. I'm going to pour it right in here. This water is clean. That's what I'm also going to use to put into my corn. Just going to do 4 jars at a time. I think you know by watching my videos now, I always do 4 jars at a time. It helps keep everything hot. Well, since I have 1 jar left, we might as well do 5. Now let me put the lid back on to keep it hot. Now I measure, let me get this over here. Alright, I put a 1/4 teaspoon of canning salt in each of the jars. It's not necessary. You don't have to if you are watching your salt. Now I measure my corn. There's 3 of us in the family. So I have 1/2 cup. So I give us a good 1/2 cup each. So I put 1 1/2 cups in each of my jars. And if we have company, then I have the quart jars downstairs that we can use. I know 1/2 cup's a lot of corn, but boy is it good in the winter time. Get all this in here. And this is I'm using the water when I sterilized my canner. When I put the water in my jars, when I put the water into the jars, that's the same water that I'm using that I put out in there. So now I got good hot water. And again, I fill it right up to that 1 inch right underneath the brim. Boy, it smells good too. Well, think I get much with an empty jar. Forgot a jar. I'm so used to doing 4 jars at a time. Then I had the extra jar here to do. That'd be some good tasting corn, wouldn't it, Ben?
Yeah.
Let me put some more into that one here. Wow. Getting tired at the end of the day. There we go. And fill that one up. back. You're supposed to, there's another you're supposed to put down in the jars, but I've been using a knife for years. And I know you can scrape the jars, but I've been doing it for 40 years and I haven't scraped my jars yet. I tried to keep them away from the side. After we get the bubbles out and clean the tops off really good, you can use any method that you like to clean the tops with. Everybody's got all kinds of different ways in what they use. Just as long as it's a clean rag, get all the sticky stuff off. Alright, now we'll get my lids here. I still always put some pretty hot water in my lids. It's been a habit for 40 years. Put these on finger tight, not very tight. Okay, then we'll get these and put these in the canner. It helps if I take the lid off.
Oh, you gotta keep the jars hot.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get these in. I already got 4 of them in there. 6, 7, 8. I'm able to get 9 pints in here. Okay, when you before you put your jars in your canner, you make sure that you put at least 2 inches of water in the bottom of the canner first. Get my seal on. I have the older canner. I've had this canner for over 40 years. I still like it, and I'm not ready to change. This on here. Okay, I had a little bit of problems getting the lid on. Alright, we're going to put the lid on. We're going to put it on like medium high, and this steam will come up through. And when the steam starts coming up through, you got to let it steam for 10 minutes, and then you put my 10-pound pressure on. We'll get back with you when our minutes are up with the corn. I forgot to mention that once your steam is up and you start the time, it's 55 minutes for the quarts. I already got these taken out of the canner already. Now we're going to leave them sit here for 24 hours. I'm sure you could probably don't leave them. Oh, I got me a little baby one that was left. Didn't have enough for a full one. But I'm sure that probably 12 hours. I don't know what I always leave them for 24. And then what you got to do, you got to go through, tap the lids, make sure that there's no pinging and all that. That way you know they're sealed. After they've cooled down, take the rings off and wash them with hot soapy water. Not the rings, well, also wash your rings, but then wash the jars with hot soapy water, because mold and stuff can form if there's any food on the outside, and if that happens, then that mold will rust your lid and lift it up. I have had that happen. It's not common, but it does happen. All right, well, thank you for watching my video with me and my husband. And by the way, his name is Greg. So he's our little funny character here, trying to get into the videos all the time. All right, y'all have a good day.